Hi, welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you updated with players that have been linked with a summer transfer and move to the Arsenal. Gonna start off today with some, for me personally, this is negative news. Morgan Schneiderlin, who's been a long-time target for Arsenal. We were linked with him since January last year. Last week, Manchester United decided they were going to sign Bastian Schweinsteiger. So there was a lot of thought that possibly, it could be back on again, that Arsenal may move in for Schneiderlin. But it looks almost 100% that Morgan Schneiderlin is going to be signing for Arsenal. He's going to be signing for Manchester United, sorry. He's having a medical at United and will become a Manchester United player. Which means they're going to have Bastian Schweinsteiger and Schneiderlin in that midfield, which is going to be pretty handy for them. But is this a big mistake by Arsenal making Morgan Schneiderlin join Manchester United? I mean, it's been known for a very long time that he's favoured a move to Arsenal. If you look at it now with the situation with Schweinsteiger being there, it could be that he may be a lot of times on the bench at Manchester United, which would have been similar, like if he came to Arsenal, he would have had to have fought for his place there as well. But Arsenal have not even made a bid for him. They've not even gone in for him. They've just allowed him to join Manchester United. And I think to myself here that this is a big error on Arsene Wenger's part. He's obviously looking on it and thinking to himself, we've got Francis Coquelin. He had a fantastic season, fantastic sort of half a season last year. I do think Coquelin's a real deal. I do think Coquelin will have another good season. However, with our history of injuries, with things like players losing form, surely Schneiderlin would have been a good signing for Arsenal to, so that him and Coquelin could have been in there battling it out for that defensive midfielder position. And then don't forget, we've also let players like Kondogbia, who was also linked for that defensive midfield position. We've let him go. He's gone and joined Inter Milan. We've let players like Imbula, who again would have been a decent player to put into that defensive midfield position. He's gone. It looks like William Carvalho, he may stay with Sporting Lisbon. The coach of Sporting Lisbon has said, listen, we don't want to sell him. So right now, it looks, from where I'm standing here, you start to see a picture where it looks like Arsenal have no intentions of signing another defensive midfielder. They've given Mikel Arteta another year's contract. Flamini's still there. Is Arsene Wenger looking at it and saying, right, Coquelin was brilliant there last season. He's going to be my main man. And I've got the backup of Arteta and Flamini. Is that good enough to win the title? Is that good enough to challenge? That is a question. We've seen Arsene Wenger over the seasons take these sort of gambles on players that he's kept faith in, and it hasn't worked out. And I'm just thinking to myself, is this a massive error? Letting a player that would have come to Arsenal go and join Manchester United, that has strengthened United without a doubt now. I mean, I thought at first it was just going to be Schweinsteiger, but fair play to Manchester United with Schweinsteiger and Schneiderlin in there. That strengthens a part of their midfield that they've been worried about for some time. Is this a big mistake by Arsene Wenger? I actually want to hear from you guys today. Let me know what you think. I mean, there is also the argument to say that if you look at, say, for instance, Chelsea last year, they had Matic. He's like their main man, defensive midfielder. He's always going to play, but the backup for him was John Obi Mikel, who, if you speak to most Chelsea fans, they say he's decent, but, he's nothing special, but he can do a job if he's called in. Is Wenger looking at it the same way when he looks at players like Arteta? It's a massive risk by Arsene Wenger, and I want to know from you guys, have we made a big mistake by not even making an offer, not even going in for Morgan Schneiderlin and just allowing him to go and join Manchester United? And if you look at the whole transfer market now, everything's starting all of a sudden to really heat up. we're hearing today that Manchester City now on the verge of signing Raheem Sterling. That deal we're being told is going to be about £49 million. So lots of money being spent now. That means prices for players are going to start going up, because with Manchester City spending that sort of money, United spending nearly 25 million on Schneiderlin. What other clubs around are looking at? They say, well, we've got a player similar sort of thing. We want this amount for him. And I think that's the case when we're talking right now about Gonzalo Higuain, who we've been told is one of the top targets for Arsenal. The president of Napoli coming out and saying that for Gonzalo Higuain, he's not selling him for less than the buyout clause. And no doubt he's going to be looking at players like Raheem Sterling and saying, listen, 20-year-old, unproven, yes, good player, but hasn't done it yet. He's gone for 49 million. I got this guy, international for Argentina, played in the World Cup, played in the Copa Americas, played at the highest level for Real Madrid. I want that buyout clause met. And indeed, he came out yesterday and he's come out with a quote, the president of Napoli, and he said, sell Higuain for £64.7 million. He said, I'd like to sell him. That way I could buy 8 players. So I don't know if he's taking the mick there, or if he's just sort of letting everybody know that, listen, we're not going to sell him for less than that release clause, because other players from other clubs are going for big money. So we want the biggest possible money for our star player, and you can't blame him. And all of a sudden prices are going to go up, and Arsenal are going to have to start getting busy if they're going to make any more transfers in this transfer market. A player we've been told that they're being linked with today is Jose Callejon. Callejon, he plays for Napoli, another Napoli player, valued about 17 to 18 million pounds. 28 years old, this guy's a winger. I remember when he used to play for Real Madrid. Good player, actually, very good player. But 28 years of age. Again, another winger, right winger, which again, as I've been saying all along, is an area that we're very, very strong in. So many players who can play in that position. So the Jose Callejon rumour, whilst they're reporting and saying that Callejon wants to join Arsenal, yes, he may want to join Arsenal, but I very, very much doubt that Arsenal will move for a player, right winger, when they've got so many players who can play in that position. And by the way, if Raheem Sterling's worth £49 million, how much money is Oxlade-Chamberlain worth? He must be worth the same, as far as I'm concerned, because he's on the same sort of level. So we do already have some top quality players, but are we going to be adding? And seems at the moment that Arsenal seem to be quite good at the moment at getting rid of players. It looks like we're going to be offloading another player. Podolski has gone, of course. The player that we're looking to offload this time on a loan deal is Yaya Sanogo. I don't have to go into it. He hasn't done it at Arsenal. His injury record is terrible. Why we signed this guy, it's seeming to be now a very poor signing, because he had a very, very bad injury record even before he came to Arsenal. Remember, when he came to Arsenal, he was injured. Injuries are just hampering his career, and it looks now that he could be on his way out this week to Ajax, which actually would be a good move, because he'll be working under Dennis Bergkamp and some good coaches down there. But yes, we're being told that Yaya Sanogo is going to be going on a loan move to Ajax. And listen, I think that would be good for him. If he is going to develop, I think this is going to be like sort of like the last chance saloon as far as his Arsenal career is concerned. He'll have to go over to Ajax and do very, very well to earn himself a place back in the Arsenal squad. And does that mean that the fact that we're offloading Sanogo, looks like Joel Campbell's going to be going, Podolski's obviously gone, does that mean that we're making room and making way for a striker? And what are we doing? Because we're going to have now lots of money available to buy players. We were told even before the window started, we've got money available. We've got money in for Podolski. We've got money off for the wage bill. Every Arsenal fan now is looking at it and saying, please, Arsene Wenger, don't do the usual that you've done over previous seasons where you've fallen short in this thing. We've got a great team. We only need a couple of additions. Go out there and make those real top quality additions. We're really going to have to. It's going to be a long window because I just get the feeling that Arsene Wenger's sitting out there and he's just hovering around and saying, right, let me see what becomes available. Let me see what comes up. If something of real top quality comes up, I'll move and I'll buy it. What if it doesn't come up? Are we going to buy anyone else? It's going to be a long, long transfer window in typical Arsenal style. That's how it always is. We started off well, but things have really slowed down. Let's get into your comments, see what you guys have had to say. Jojo M says, Schneiderlin has now gone to Manchester United, and honestly, I don't think Wenger will do any other signing. And I'm sure this guy's reflecting what a lot of you guys out there are saying right now. He said it will be the same old story. We'll finish fourth again. Now, I get that's why the Schneiderlin thing leaves a real negative sort of taste in your mouth. You know what I mean? You're starting to think, oh no, not again, after such a good start to the transfer window. Gemmo Miles says United and Chelsea are hot favourites for the coming season. I can't see us challenging with players like Flamini and Arteta. Again, negative again, because I just think Schneiderlin would have been a good signing. I just think that Schneiderlin would have been, you know, he would have been showing real strength. Eric Vale says, I would love it if Lacazette goes to Arsenal. Of course, I was asking you yesterday if it would be a good signing to get Lacazette. Unproven, really, at the highest level. Chamillionaire says, Lacazette will be a good signing, but my question is, must we always sign at the very last minute? And also, why just buy only one player every season? So again, bit of negativity there. Robert Vincent says, bang goes your Schneiderlin rumour, Robbie. I think we'll get Carvalho in and a striker. And again, the Carvalho thing, that has gone very quiet. As I said, the coach of Sporting Lisbon has said that, listen, we're not selling Carvalho. I want Carvalho, you know, as one of my main players this season. You know, and certainly it's gone very quiet on the whole Carvalho thing. It was hot a couple of weeks ago, but the Carvalho thing has just died in the water, and it looks like he may be staying. So, you know, that's a lot of targets we're missing out of in that defensive midfield position. Luca Quarta says Arsenal won't sign Robbie. Again, as I said, negativity. And you know what? If you used to go through a lot of the comments today, that is the general theme. Same old Arsenal. We're not going to sign no one else. We're doing it again. We're relying on players that, you know, some of them we think should be gone. Wenger's showing too much faith. And after the ruthlessness he's shown in signing Petr Cech, I think not going in and making an effort to sign Schneiderlin, for me personally, I think is a bit of a step back. But you guys might think it's great logic in what he's doing. You know, I was chatting to a friend yesterday, and he was saying, listen, you've got Jack Wilshere who can play deep. Aaron Ramsey could drop a bit deeper. Then you've got Arteta. Then you've got Coquelin. How many more? You know, we can't just buy players for the sake of buying it. We can't just, you know, buy players and have them sitting there. Well, hold on. That's what Manchester United may just have done. Because in that defensive position, they're going to have Carrick, Schweinsteiger and Schneiderlin. And if the money's there, do the deal. But that doesn't seem to be the Arsenal way. As I said, leave it in the comments below, guys. Let me know what you think of it. But Schneiderlin looks like he's definitely on his way to Manchester United. Will Arsenal be moving in for another defensive midfielder or a striker? Higuain, £67 million? Let's see what happens.